Good evening, everybody. We're going to be making bologna and salami tonight. Goal is to get done stuff for my dollhouse as well as stock for my shop. And I could use a little bit of encouragement tonight. I am bone tired. I got like 4 hours of sleep. 4 hours of non-consecutive sleep last night. And then woke up early and sat in front of a sewing machine most of the day. Just a bunch of grump and a bunch of tired, and I know I need to get this done. You're probably saying to yourself, Bailey, if you're so tired, why don't you like not stream tonight? I'm like, yes, but also if I do this every time I'm tired, you guys would never see me stream. And that would be the end. Hi, Moon Moon. That's okay, I understand. I appreciate you stopping in. It is meaningful enough that you have said something in the chat, and I hope you're doing okay. Not doing well. I'm so sorry. I hope tomorrow is better. Ooh. I'll keep you in my thoughts for a better day tomorrow. So for anybody who wants to try to do this at home, I'm using kind of what did I use? Two parts blush Sculpey Primo to almost the same in, what color are you? Dusty Rose. I went to the store yesterday to try to find, there was a coral color that I was using. I can't seem to find it. It was like the perfect meat color. I've been noticing that my stream has been giving out. That's very strange. I don't know, like halfway I'll get a weird pause. Let me know if it does that tonight. Really want to roll this out on the table, but I know it's gonna shake the crap out of the camera. I need my viewers to start like asking me questions about what I'm doing too, because that would really help me describe to myself what I'm doing in these streams, like what colors I'm using and because I find myself not talking a lot in the streams unless I've managed to get on a tangent or somebody has watched. And I don't tell myself what colors I'm using, or I don't describe my technique, which usually I can figure out, but it's, you know, for future Bailey who does go back and watch her own videos. It would just be better if I did. Ugh, Primo is so hard. Oh, I'm sorry for shaking the table. One of these days I'm gonna set up this camera a little bit better so I can attach it to like my hard desk and not my table. How was everybody's weekend? Did it go by too fast for you guys too? Ooh, it's such a pretty marble. Feel like that still might be too pink for Bologna. Bologna. I need reference pictures. Bologna is such an unnatural color to me. I just don't. Ugh. I don't particularly like bologna. Much like I don't particularly enjoy hot dogs. Like I have to be in a well, I haven't been in a specific mood for bologna in about 20 years. I'm gonna mix in some of this brown. Hopefully it'll tone it down a little bit. So right now it looks like bubblegum. And I'm using a chocolate brown. I don't think that's what that's called, but that's what it looks like to me. Looks like Hershey's chocolate. Sorry for a shaky table. That might do it. A lot of clay conditioning tonight. Because I'm using Primo, and Primo is harder than Sculpey. Ah, my mic detached. Weird. No sound. There it is. Something, my mic port is like really loose, so sometimes if I knock the table around, it goes silent. Hi. So I don't know where you guys lost me, but figure that out later. Just sort of joined. Yeah. So how's your project going? I've seen pictures of it on your Instagram. It's looking great. It's due at the end of the month, isn't it? Ooh, exciting. Getting close. Can't wait to see it all together. Do you really have to? That's upsetting. Can you use like semi-permanent glue? Like like an Aleene's. Liquid tacky or something. So you guys are gonna hate me. All of this color means nothing, except for if you were to cut into it after it bakes, but nope. Flooring will be semi-permanent. I'll glue onto that. Guess. Yeah. Bologna and salami tonight. I was pretty busy Friday night actually with miniature stuff. As much as I didn't do anything this weekend with it. Salami, yeah. Bologna. I am trying. It says it's restocked. Technically it's not. I have to make a bunch of these Lunar New Year's lanterns for stock. Just sold out of sombreros, which is great. And I have parts for that ordered so that I can restock that soon. Trying to just catch up on some of the stuff that I've been doing. But what did I do on Friday that I was going to talk about? I got calendars done for the next couple of months. I think I'm scheduled until June, maybe. So that's pretty cool. I don't have to think about what I'll be doing. My craft to-do list challenge is now programmed so that as I sell things or restock things, it notifies me what things I need to make more of, which is also pretty cool. Perfect, I have one for me. And it notifies me after it gets down below a stock level of 3. So if you are part of the Craft To-Do List Challenge or want to be a part of it or want to know more about it, I can go on at length about that at some point, but I think I've said a lot about it in the past. For anyone new in the chat, though, that hasn't spoken up yet, the Craft To-Do List Challenge is now it's all of my stock that has I'm sorry, hold on. I'm trying to figure out which brush I want to use. It is all of my stock, and now it details which ones I need to do, but if you want to see something made first or priority set to it, or you like just bossing people around and you want to kind of be a part of what you see coming out of Blueberry Hollow, it is just that. It gives you an opportunity to do that. So if you are interested, all you have to do is privately message me your email address. I'll add you to the Google Doc and you can see what I'm working on in my spare time. Whatever that is. I am trying to get a light brown chalk pastel here. That's gonna go on the outside of our bologna. Let's see how that's gonna look. Just a little coat. Not a ASMR, probably not. I apologize for anyone watching that just went, what the frick was that noise? I'm gonna do a light coat because it looks pretty good. So yeah, like I said, I didn't get to work on very many minis this weekend. And therefore I didn't get any Patreon content put up. But hopefully this coming weekend will be less crazy. And I don't know if the stream had dropped the audio before this, but I was talking about how I was making a costume for my old boss slash teacher. For a cruise that he's going on. So that took up most of my weekend. I don't know. Should I? Do you think? I feel like the sausages that I'm gonna make are gonna be kinda like... I was considering making ones that hang. And then like a couple of slices maybe. Yeah, bolognas. Because, like, I'm gonna be making sausages. I don't want everything to look the same. They can. They can also just hang by a thread up, like, around this balloon knot kind of thing that I'm making here. I say balloon knot, I don't know what else to call it. Sure. I mean, I can wrap it in thread. Oh, let's set these guys aside. Let's mess with this a little bit. I've got time. Ooh, upholstery thread. That's thick. Yeah, I see them hanging from the belly button too. kind of like hat. Well, yeah, glue. That should be strong enough. I mean, it'll bake. I'll tap that back down around so it kind of keeps it from... Oh, you mean the knot. You hope the balloon knot is strong enough. It should be. What do you think? Slices? You see slices? Is that what you want? Well, let's see with this one and see what we feel. That is that unnatural bologna color. I'll even include that, the end. Bologna ends. A natural pink bologna. So thin. Number one. Yeah, okay. Oh, and here's the fun thing. If they crinkle, they look more like sliced bologna. Because they'll crinkle as I reshape them into their unnatural circular deli meat shape. Yeah, maybe, yeah. You don't think? Yeah, I think let them crinkle a little bit. No, I like your idea. Cook them for like 5 minutes. Pull them out. Alright. Alright, now we got a game plan. Now we know what we're doing. else has been going on this week? Gosh, I don't even know. It just feels like... Oh, Valentine's was this week, wasn't it? How was everybody's Valentine's Day? If you celebrate. We didn't do anything on Valentine's Day. That's not true. I went to therapy. Good time. Ooh, happy hour. That sounds fun. Get some appies and drinks. Ooh, half price appetizers. That's where it's at. Super romantic. That's correct. I can agree with that. I do love cooking though. I found 2 really good recipes this weekend actually, so I like cooking. I just don't often have the time to do it. So most of the recipes I cook nowadays have to be done in like an hour. And I cut a lot of corners because of that. Yeah, if you have the right ingredients in your house, sure you can. You know, I'm gonna opt for canned diced tomatoes over cutting up like a million cherry tomatoes. What else? I don't think there was much else this week. Mardi Gras is this coming week. And I've always loved Mardi Gras. I hope one day to get down to Louisiana for the celebration. Just hasn't been in the cards, but maybe in the next 10 years, hopefully. And so I decorated for Mardi Gras, which is fun. My stepson goes, "Is there a holiday you don't decorate for?" And I'm like, Mother and Father's Day. He's like, "I just find it weird that you have decorations for everything." I'm like, okay, you can judge me all you want, child. I don't care. But since I've been dressing up for holidays again, not entirely in costume, but at least doing my makeup for it, I do have makeup picked out for Mardi Gras, so I'm really excited about that. And here's the fun mix. So I am not Catholic. I don't consider myself by any means very religious, but every once in a while I like to play the game of Lent. And I know it's not a game. It is a sacrifice that people give up in the name of their Lord and Savior, and I get it. I find it interesting. I find religion interesting on a just like a fascination level. I like the stories. I like the thoughtfulness behind it. I don't think I need it to be a good person, but some people do, and that is fine. That's not for me to judge either way. But every once in a while, I like to experience religion for myself. Like, I've gone to church, and I have listened to sermons, and I've read parts of the Bible, and I played Lent. I don't know how, observed Lent. That's the better verb for it, I think. And the past 2 times that I did it, I gave up soda, which is hard. It was even harder the year that my brother turned 21, and we had like a birthday party for him, and I didn't drink anything, period, because the only mixers in the house were soda. But the first time I did it, I gave up soda. The second time I did it, I gave up soda again, and did the fasting on Ash Wednesday and Good Friday, and giving up meat on Fridays. So it's I know how to do it. And right now I am in the process of dieting, because I've gained a couple pounds that I'm not happy with. And I thought, well, you cut out a lot of calories if you give up soda, so why not play that game? See where we get, and it'll be fine, because Lent will end around the time my diet is supposed to end, if all goes well. I'm not excited about it, though. Because I am not I'm not a coffee drinker or a tea drinker, so, like, my only caffeine that I have during the day is a can of soda. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, to say the least. gonna be hangry and caffeine withdrawn. That's supposed to be smaller. It's gonna be fun. What? Diets and so I am scheduled to hit my goal, my weight goal, April 22nd. Technically diets don't end, but you can go back to a maintaining. If you are calorie counting, you can go back to a maintaining level versus a dieting level. Because, like, I could do those diets where, like, you cut out, you know, whatever kinds of foods. Like, I don't particularly like the idea of a keto diet. I think your body needs carbs and fats that you get from dairy, so it can be dangerous if you do not do it properly. And I don't like the idea of, you know, cutting out all fats, and I can't just live on, I can't do like a vegetarian diet, so I am just counting calories, and that has worked for me, and I like seeing the numbers, and I like stepping on the scale and seeing where I'm at, because I am a woman of science, and science means numbers, and I like seeing numbers. So I am eating the foods I like within moderation. I am finding recipes that are delicious and low calorie. Still having my carbs, still having a little piece of candy before bed if I can allow it, you know, but it's budgeting all of that throughout the day to be able to do it. Like today, I can have a couple pieces of candy. Yeah, and I do well at it. I just hate not eating. Like, I spent the last 5 years not eating because of my job. And now that I'm allowed to eat, I hate that I can't. Can't eat as much as I used to because my body is slowing down finally. This is real talk tonight with Bailey. I'm sorry, I've been jabbering on about all sorts of deep conversation and intimate details about me. I apologize. No, I don't think diets should be suffering. And like, my husband has dieted before. When we first started dating, he quit smoking and he dropped 100 pounds in the first year. And it was ridiculous. And he only ate chicken and he only ate eggs. And eggs are expensive right now. So, and I cannot live off of chicken. I don't know how he does it. He doesn't get bored of like a certain food. He just will continue to just eat chicken and eggs if left to his own devices. And I can't do that. I need variety and vegetables. But he can do like the protein bars and the diet shakes and things like that, and I just can't. The texture is weird. The texture is so weird on those diet bars. I can't. The peanut butter is not. Oh, it's so weird. And I am a textural eater at my core. I've gotten over a lot of those things, but I still can't get past the protein bars. I tried one recently and I was like, that's awful. What was the other one? He does the shakes every once in a while, and they are the thickest, weirdest kind of grit. I don't know. It's like they're good. Like, the flavor is good, but it's like drinking a warm milkshake. Like, you get that malt texture, kind of gritty. I don't know. I can't. Weird. That's weird. Even when they're cold, and they're hard to drink because they're so thick. I mean, they're filling. Like, I get it, but I can't with them. So, we're just eating less. There's less on my plate. Not as much pasta. But I was talking to a friend about it this weekend, and how, Americans are so fascinated by these keto diets, or these diets where you just cut out so much stuff and you say no completely to things. And I think it's because Americans are so bad at everything in moderation. If you say you can have a little, what's a little mean? Like, oh, we're so used to eating a pound of pasta when we sit down to dinner that having or quartering or even putting like an eighth of a cup on your plate is like, well, what's the point then? I might as well just not have anything. It's very American notion. It's this whole cutting out an entire food group for the sake of a diet, or just substituting with a protein bar. So, but I can't do that, and I am okay with self-discipline. Americans in general are not. Tried quinoa for the first time this week. That was fun. Quinoa's good. I like the texture of that. It was very strange. I thought it was going to be one of those things where it's like, nope, can't handle the texture on this, but it was good. Even my kid liked it, so bonus points there. He was like, I like this better than rice. I'm like, oh, great. you start running out of like sides when it's like pasta or rice or corn as like your starch. It's it's a bit snappy. It kind of reminds me, have you ever had wild rice? Or it's got a little bit of toothiness to it. Or I don't know what else to compare it. Yeah, it's kind of like wild rice. In that aspect, it's got like more oomph to it. Good. It's easy to cook. I mean, I made it in my Instapot. Turned out really good. Really quick. Quicker than rice, too. A little bit like Vienna sausages there. Yeah, if they were life-sized. I could see that. And same thing, right? Little hot dogs. Oh, that's what I did this week. I made one of my Patreon posts public. So that hopefully I can draw more of a crowd with the topic and hopefully more patrons that way. Still only have one, so if you're looking to support Blueberry Hollow and aren't really interested in buying minis, you can always support me on my Patreon. I have a bunch of different tiers, and I'll go over them at the end of the stream like I always do. But yeah, I made one of the posts a little bit gross. Vienna sausages, are they the one that come in a jar? I mean, hot dogs are a little bit gross, so personal opinion there. Oh, I can't handle most meat in a can. Unless it's soup or chicken. And it has to be like just chicken breast. I can't do like the whole chicken in a can. Why would you? Why? Gross. My husband loves Spam. The idea of canned ham product. Gross. Sitting in water. I have never had Spam, so I can't say for certain that it's gross. But my brain says no. My husband also eats Slim Jims though, and they're freaking gross. No, I don't want to. It's just going to upset me. There are things in this world that I don't want to know about. Specifically food. Like, I don't want to think about how hollandaise is made. I don't want to think about how Caesar dressing is made. I don't want to think about how mayo is made. I just want to eat these things and be left alone. Because the more I think about them, the more they will drive me away from those foods. Was. There's your keyword there. Was. Now that's made with whatever dog water meat they can find. Sorry, Spam. If you're listening, I apologize. I don't know that I can handle the idea of you. Bologna. And we're gonna bake these a little bit and then slice into them and then bake them more. But for right now we'll put them off to the side and we'll start working our salami. Wet wipes. Wet wipes would be good for in here. Salami. Kind of reddish. Then we're going to put that white casing on the outside. It's not casing, so here's a gross fun fact about salami. If you get salami with like a white exterior, what that is a fungus that grows on the outside, but it's a good fungus and it keeps any bacteria away while the meat is curing. Yes. Do you like me some salami? More than pepperoni. I can make a dinner out of just salami and Triscuits. A lot of brand names tonight. I apologize. There's no sponsorship here. I don't know what else you would call Triscuits. Multi-grain crackers. Turkey pepperoni. Huh. Ooh, I got ground turkey in the freezer. Gotta figure out something with that. Bought myself some fish. I don't usually eat fish. But I've been having weird needs for it lately. And they've been having decent deals at the supermarket. So I've been picking some up. And then I got myself some ground turkey. You don't eat beef. I don't eat a lot of beef. I eat more pork. Every once in a while I'll have like a ground beef or steak. Steaks are rare. Haha, har, har, har. No, I mean like we rarely have steaks. Much to my husband's chagrin. But if I have the chance, I do like to substitute beef for venison. I just don't get it all that often. Now that I don't live with my dad. Well, that made a pretty color, but not the color I wanted. I am bad at mixing tonight. This is just not my night for mixing. That's gonna be another filler color for my hams or something. Not the one I wanted. Let's try plain Jane red. With don't need that one anymore. Some of this dark red. I've been doing so good too. It's not doing it for me tonight. Yeah, I'm going to. I just need to get that red color first. The meat. Fat chunk. I made salami before. It actually turned out pretty good, but that was a very, very long time ago. It's a pretty good color. Almost there. Though it's going to be chopped up, so it's not like it matters how mixed in this really gets. I just want that color to be pretty mixed. Alright. That. And give you your ASMR for the night. Gonna take whatever white translucent clay I got laying around here. A little bit of beige. Probably should wash my hands first, but I don't think it's gonna make it terribly pink. Oh, maybe it might. Who knows? I wish they had like clay conditioners that weren't pasta machines. It's like something I could stick this in and it would just... I mean, yeah, exactly. That, shush. Making fun of me. I mean like a shiatsu massage machine for clay. That's what I mean. What's the book suggest? Chop, 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 cane. Cool. Easy peasy. We're gonna save some of this for an outer layer. We're just gonna roughly chop, make a whole lot of noise. Yeah, I'm gonna, not right now, I'm gonna cook everything together because I'm also gonna slice some of the salami. Needs more red. Too much fat to meat. used the wrong red, but that's okay, because we're gonna do a lot of this. Oh, besides my Patreon post, I also... Oh, I made 2 of them public. I am also... I guess I can announce it here. I am going to be selling at a show in Delaware. It is the First Date Miniature Show. It is in... it is March 12th from 10 to 4, and it's at Brandywine Plaza. I have the information somewhere. Give me 1 second. So that was announced about a month ago on my Patreon. So for those of you who are patrons, you got early access to that knowledge. But now that we're almost a month out, or less than a month out, I figure I'd make that public knowledge. It's in Claymont, Delaware, so that's 630 Namans Road, Claymont, Delaware, and again, it's the First State Minis Club. You can look up the website firststateminiclub.org, and it'll have more information about the show there. There's about 25 vendors that are going, which is a lot smaller than like Philadelphia Miniatura, but it's still a pretty good show. I have been going to that one for a couple years now, and it's nice. It's a lot more intimate, I think, because it is smaller. So if you want to come visit my stand, you're more than welcome to come check me out there. Again, that's March 12th, 10 to 4. And if you are a patron on my Patreon, you still have access to a little gift in regards to that show. So, highly suggest you become a patron so you can have access to that. And the Patreon post that I made public about the not-so-secret project anymore, I am really excited about that project, and I hope people go check it out. It is really exciting for me to be working on that. If I can find the time to start working on it, that'd be nice. But the idea is there, the work is in progress, it will happen. This will be the last shop that we do. I'm sure that this noise is awful for anyone trying to relax. Well, look at that. Isn't that pretty? So now we're gonna make a cane. I'm gonna squish this down, make sure there are no air bubbles in it. Because sometimes when you get air, oh, look at that two-tone too, because I had to do two different types of colors. Got a nice two-tone of reds there. Oh, these might turn out nicer than I thought they would. Let me clean off my hands. I might have to go clean my hands for real because my hands are like super stained red. Meat. I'll be right back. All right, meat. Now I put some of this white aside because what I'm gonna do is I am gonna put an outer coating of that white that you do see on salami sometimes. Very thin rind, as you would, if you would. Will it reach? No, it won't. Do I dare break out the acrylic roller? I think I do. If I can find the acrylic roller. Gone forever. There we go, that'll just reach. Yeah, cornstarch, I know. Tiny salami. It is an amazing thing. I am always very nervous to do it. Because you have to squeeze before you roll. Yeah. And I'm the kind of person that likes to check the oven as it's cooking. So like I'd want to cut this and see where we're at. Hold on. Sorry. Mom thing. And salamis are very small. It would be 2 inches, so maybe maybe a little bit smaller than a 1/4. Right? Yeah. Depends. Yes, yeah, it can depend. Sure, it comes in all different sizes. I think I'm gonna make these the smaller, maybe 3. We'll go with a quarter inch. Alright, this is getting unwieldy, so yes, I am going to cut it. So we got our basic shape, and then what I want to do is recut this end because we're getting too much bleed through on that. So I'm going to kind of make, you kind of got little hooks, right? Sometimes. No, tied. Kind of like the same way we did the bologna. I feel like I have seen them where they've got like little loops on the end. Am I going crazy? Is that not right? I guess we can do it the same way we do. Most look tied, yeah. That's a lot of tying. Don't quite have that skill. I would have to get like a fine mesh tool or something like that to mimic that. Maybe I'll do that though. I'll see if I have any white tool laying around, and if not, it's like $1 at Wally World. Because I've got enough of this that I can make tied ones, but for now we're gonna do just tabletop ones. So what I'm doing now is I'm taking a fine grit sandpaper and I'm dabbing it onto the surface here because it gives it a nice rough texture. Hope I didn't say fine grit. I meant like a rough grit sandpaper. Bring it up close, see if you can see that texture. How many slices you think? These I can definitely cut while they're, how many slices you want to see? Gosh, that's so pretty. Look at that. 5? I can do 5. Two, 3, 4, 5. 5 and an end. Alright, time to make 6 more. 5 more. I've got a salami. Alright, we got about an hour left. Less than an hour, probably. Let's get it done. Alright. How much do we think for the bolognese and for the salami? What would you pay for this? The hams I put at 7. The jerky I put at 3. I too have seen expensive meats. was a lot of work. I was thinking 10 on the hams, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of competition for food out there. Star Seller has hers at $6.95. And in comparison, where would you say I stand? Better quality, less quality. You can be honest. Same-ish. I could do $6.50. Maybe $6. Or maybe 7 for the bologna, because it's a lot of clay. I typically only do discounts for, like, so far I've only done discounts for shows where I do like a combination deal or something like that. Etsy, I haven't really played around with the discounts, except for the one that the few that I have given out. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I am trying to make money. And, you know, shipping is expensive, and I have fees to pay through the platform, and so I'm not making as much as I would, like, selling for like at cash value or anything like that. So I do have to take that into account. So, I mean, I love offering discounts, you know, but I have to justify it. I'm gonna try to cut these again and see where we stand. They were a little warm before. Because if I don't have to bake them, oh, perfect. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, battery. Look how pretty that is. Hold on. You need to see it. You need to see it. I'm gonna see if my... That should work just as well. If it doesn't put a hair on it, that'd be great. That's a lot better than using that tiny piece of sandpaper that I had. Still getting pretty decent texture. Oh, perfect. Gosh, that's perfect. Okay. I don't even want to pull them apart, but I am the person that sells meats separately, not together. Not selling a platter, I'm selling pieces. Alright, I'm running out of battery and I want to get these done. Oh no. Well, if they tear, that's more realism. So I'll go through the spiel, I guess. Pull up my cheat sheet here. So, for those of you who are new to the stream, welcome. My name is Bailey Card Zimmerman, and I am the owner of Blueberry Hollow Miniatures. I have been collecting miniatures for over 20 years at this point, and in the last two and a half years, I started making them, kind of trying to get into it for myself, and then decided that it was a good time to also maybe get into selling. I was making stuff anyway, so might as well make it to sell as well, right? Fun to hobby with a hobby. So I started building up stock. The first year I worked on vegetables, and the second year I worked on holiday stuff. And this year I am doing a mess of things. In the winter, I am working on meats, fish. I'm probably next year going to do a meats part 2 because I didn't even get into like poultry. So we'll see what next year brings. It is still early in this year. Let's see how this year goes. Anyway, so we're doing meats. Next season we are doing fruits. Following that, we are doing furniture, and then after that, we are doing clothes. The furniture and the clothes will just be for me, because I've got a lot of stock already, and I don't want to get into furniture. So that's where we stand on that. If you are watching this on Twitch and you would like to check out my YouTube channel, you can look up Blueberry Hollow Miniatures. And if you are watching this on on my YouTube channel and you want to check it out on Twitch, I stream Sundays 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that is also Blueberry Hollow Miniatures. If you like what you're seeing and you'd like to purchase, I do have an Etsy. It is Blueberry Hollow Minis. My Facebook and Instagram are Blueberry Hollow Miniatures. My TikTok is Blueberry Hollow Minis. And if you want to check out my blog, it's blueberryhollowminiatures.wordpress.com. The last entry on there is the first of our deep dive into the hollows, where they came from, the stories that came out of them. Because the hollows are not just Blueberry Hollow Miniatures, but Blackberry Hollow Miniatures as well, which is a whole story that my grandmother came up with. So this is a generational thing, and I am finally just putting it to its word and trying to sell the name. And hopefully get the stories out there for good. If you like what you see, don't really want to buy miniatures but still want to support Blueberry Hollow Miniatures, and you want to check out some of my side projects, some of my behind the scenes content, some collaboration work, some commission work, that is all being worked on my Patreon. My Patreon is, it should be Blueberry Hollow Miniatures, but the URL is like patreon.com/user?u=848185555. But I think you can look up Blueberry Hollow Miniatures and it'll get you to the same page. I'm not sure, I haven't tested that theory, but it should. And there's small membership things that you can do. There's $1, $5, and $10, and they get you increasingly more fun stuff, where I get more and more involved. But basically what the Patreon is to show off my not-so-secret side project, my collaboration work. I've done an interview. Yeah, just mini stuff, but doesn't quite fit in on the stream or my YouTube. So I encourage you to check that out, and if you are interested, give me a subscribe. That would be fantastic. I would really appreciate it. How many slices did I cut of this salami? Yes. So. 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, I'm losing track of my pieces over here. Oh, perfect. Stop just in time. I think I've covered everything. Oh, if you, I know I discussed this earlier, but if you would like to be a part of my craft to-do list challenge, you can always privately message me, email me. My email is blueberryhollowminis@gmail.com. And the craft to-do list challenge is a Google document that details pretty much everything that I have to get done. And if you'd like to set any of that into higher priority by telling me you want to see it worked on, that's all you have to do. You comment on the Google Doc, and I get to working on it. And I try to get it done in that week's span to try to force myself to work on stuff more. It's an encouragement to me because I see what my followers want me to work on, and it gives you whatever you get out of bossing people around, you weirdo. I mean, no judgment, but like also, you weirdo. So So yeah. Other than that, I think that's it. So I'm gonna keep cutting these. I am going to get them finished tonight because, gosh almighty, my goal is to start finishing stock during the stream so that I don't have to work on them. My goal is to eventually get to just a restock in my spare time and not also everything else. That'd be great, right? Like, that'd be fantastic. 4, 5, 6. So, oh, I guess I should talk about the calendar. Next week we're doing breakfast sausages. And I think that's it. I'm not quite sure. I think I've been doubling up, or I've been trying to double up on these next few streams. Just to push getting some stock, even if it's not restock for the upcoming show. I don't know. We'll see. I know I doubled up tonight. I don't usually do that, but I think a couple of the upcoming ones are doubled up. But next week is, what'd I say? Breakfast sausage. So that'll be fun. Pretty easy. I hope everybody had fun tonight. I am pretty pleased, pretty tickled pink with how this all came out, even though we started off on the bad foot, or the wrong foot, with some colors, but now I have some pretty pinks that I'll never use. I'll find a way to use them. Gosh darn it. I will figure it out. I hope everybody has a lovely rest of their evening, and I hope everybody has a wonderful week. This week is Mardi Gras, and Lent if you celebrate Ash Wednesday and all that. So if you do, I wish you a very solemn and respectful holiday. And for those of you that celebrate Mardi Gras, wait, I can never remember this phrase. Laissez les bon temps rouler. Let the good times roll. Have a wonderful night, everybody. I will see you next week. Love you guys. Bye-bye.